we need to discuss. So I'm gonna just take a minute and take off my DJ helmet and get into my business hat, because this is a very serious topic that needs nuance and respect. Oh, no, not that one. AI is kind of a term that's been baked into everything. I mean, like, I had to update the drivers on my webcam for an AI-enhanced something just to film this video. There are AI apps and services that can produce entire songs, and some of them can produce cover songs. And we've seen this stuff just running rampant over YouTube over the last year. There are channels that are putting out hundreds of hours, hundreds of uploads, thousands of hours worth of video game remix content that is AI generated, doing things at a pace that would be completely irresponsible for any musician who is like actually working musician. But with these AI stuffs, they can do it. And there's been some just bonkers type of things, like some channel that's done the entire Expedition's 33 soundtrack as synthwave. I would never advise anyone, no matter how talented they are, to do an entire soundtrack in synthwave. But this person took a weekend, farmed out a bunch of credits with an AI service, and put this thing together. And I'm not even mad at them for doing it. I am mad because there are no rules for how we're supposed to do this. The technology is here. I get it. It's here. I don't want generative AI images or music on my channel or on the label. I don't. The persistence of this thing is kind of mind-boggling. Last year, 2 AI images, and I will not call them art, because they are not art if an artist didn't make them. 2 AI images snuck out with some of our singles. One of them was a pixelated Castlevania song, and the other one was a human-made sketch that was upscaled and digitized using some AI thing. It's my fault this stuff made it on here, so sorry. I did not think I had to vet musician submitted images for AI. I just didn't think that was a thing we had to do. I incorrectly assumed that these were made by people. We hired real artists to replace them. Shout out to Sean Thurlow, who is amazing. He's done a ton of our album art, who replaced it with this much cooler version for the Castlevania song. And Hakuro, who did the Pokemon tune, actually sent me his original sketch. This is actually a really beautiful moment. They took the time to learn Procreate and then drew, colored, and finished their art as they actually intended. And this, in a way, is kind of like the best, that it actually encouraged an artist to better themselves and learn their craft. A little bit upset when we figured it out, but the resulting is much more beautiful art in both regards, human, personal, and we also got to get a gig over to a freelance artist. Hooray, that was a win, even though I didn't feel like it at first. But it's not all wins. To be totally transparent, our channel saw 50% less views and ad revenue this year as opposed to last year. And it's because there is so much competition for this long-form video game cover content, which has really been our bread and butter for close to 15 years. GameChops was founded in December 2010. That's a million years ago. I was DJing punk rock venues in a skateboard helmet back then as a tiny infant, and now I'm a big grown man in my own room with my own stuffed animals I can put however I want. Settle down, Cutman, because we need to talk about something that's very important, that's very persistent. I'm sure you've heard this term. Slop is not something new. It's a term for like hastily made, uncanny, or otherwise not that good content. And it's been around forever. Some would call all reality TV slop. Others would say that fast fashion is a perfect example of designs just being farted out. Some people would also say that most pop music is a little bit sloppy. The thing that AI has done is it's given everybody a slop factory. You could download your very own Slop Factory on your phone. You don't even have to have a new one. You have an old phone like DJ Cutman, and you could just start slopping away all day long. To a certain extent, I don't think it's that bad for people to have fun making AI something for their friends, or have their cat on a rocket ship. I don't know what people use this for. I assume it's putting their cat on rocket ships. Problem is bad actors. People using this to spam content at scale, which used to be a thing that only big corporations got to do. But now anyone can do it with like a long weekend. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, people have been trying to develop systems to make things cheaper and faster. You used to have a set of silverware, like literal silverware handed down from your grandparents, and now you go to Costco, you buy 500 forks for $16. Generative AI is that capitalistic cheaper, faster mentality coming for media, which is a space that has historically been high cost, high effort. And I know this firsthand because I went to film school. So naturally, I had to become a DJ. Now this may surprise you, but back in the 1950s, canned food, like I'm talking canned green beans and Spam, were actually seen as like better for you and higher quality than fresh meats and produce. They were the new thing. You could buy a can of beans and stick it in your pantry. And I see generative AI in this space right now. It is like hype and excitement, but like doesn't taste great. If you are wondering what the official GameChops policy on generative AI is, I will tell you, no thanks. GameChops was started to support musicians and illustrators in the video game space to help them make a living. That's like why I started this. I remember I was DJing and producing beats from 2010. That's when the channel started. I was working in a recording studio. I was combining my collection of video game music and working with like some circuit bending guys up in upstate New York, and putting these hip hop beats I was getting from my rap sessions. I was working as an engineer and combining these things and like making these funky little beats. We called them game chops, little chops of game sounds. I went to my first MagFest, I think in 2012, the Music and Gaming Fest here on the East Coast. I was in that hotel for like 5 seconds before I found my people. Yes, this is where I belong. I knew I had to do something for this scene. These are the people who were playing Zelda music in the hallway on their violin. These are people who are jamming out to jazz versions of anime soundtracks and playing movie themes. And my background was in audio engineering, and I was running a small-time recording and film studio in upstate New York. And so I had some admin experience, I had some engineering experience. The combination of those two things, record label. I called the HFA, Harry Fox Agency, in 2012 to release our first record. I said, I want to release an album of Legend of Zelda covers. And the man on the phone, this is back when you could call him, legit said to me, why? And I said, oh, I like video games and this is a cool thing and this is what we want to do. And he was like, all right, it's $540, here's the address. That was a long time ago, but I knew video game music needed to exist beyond the scope of my iPod. Sorry, I'm aging myself so brutally right now. There was a saying back then that game music was not real music, and I was like, it absolutely is, and I'll show you. We got a whole bunch of video game music out there into the world, and now it's easier than ever to get that stuff out there, so hooray. But I'm not gonna pivot to computers making computer stuff just because it's easy. In fact, we are moving in the opposite direction. We started as like a dubstep label for DJs and producers and congoers. In the pandemic, we pivoted to lo-fi and we did a bunch of sweet beats, and we're still doing that because that's what we needed as a community. Where am I going because of the AI infiltration? Live bands, baby. I am so excited about it. Last year we put out a record called Live from Pallet Town by VGM Collective in New York, led by trumpet player Max Boyko. We put up a video of the recording session on our channel and it did awesome. Not just in views, but the comments and the feedback, so supportive. We got a lot of, I'm so glad this is not AI, which you don't need to post that. Thank you. No thanks. That's our policy, no thanks. We have a Mario album, Live from the Mushroom Kingdom, coming from VGA Collective. It's already recorded, it's being mixed right now in Queens, New York. We just recorded a Zelda chamber music album. This is like a classical inspired Zelda album. Piano, cello, violin, coming out with the Sixth Station Trio. It sounds beautiful. Head over to their Instagram, you can watch some clips and listen to it. I am eagerly awaiting the mixes from that, as recorded out in San Francisco. Our in-house jazz band, the Deku Trio, completed 3 jazz Zelda records, and they're finally now working on a Pokemon record. I also greenlit an incredible jazz piano player. She's on Instagram, STEMinist, but like jazz. I saw a Thelonious Monk-inspired Mario 64 cover. recording a compilation album of a bunch of different songs from different games, and we are filming out in their home state of Hawaii. We're gonna have a multi-camera 4K video shoot. That's just gonna be awesome. You're probably wondering, what about all the lo-fi? What about Coffee Date and Helliant and maybe even DJ Cutman will make a song one day? I think it's more important than ever for us human beings to continue to make lo-fi even though the robots can do it, and I'll tell you why. Just cause the slop's out there doesn't mean we can't make some nice stuff too. This is why we need nice things, ladies and gentlemen. Fight back against the slop, not by getting bitter, not by resigning, but instead by making the best dang art that we can with our 2 hands and maybe our computer or whatever. I'm encouraging all of our lo-fi or traditional lo-fi producers to lean into their musical background. Coffee Date, for example, is a violinist and singer, but she also plays cello, ukulele, and melodica. And so for her new album, a Mario album coming out in March, where you're gonna hear a lot of different instrumentations and more of a live flavor and sound. Helliant, who you probably know from Legend of Synthwave, Super Lo-Fi World series, and his most recent ambient albums. He's leaning more into his background as a guitarist, and we're getting more live and raw guitar tones and textures in his recording.
Yo, Plankton? Eugene? Hey. Hey. Listen, I just wanted to, apologize for my behavior today. Wasn't right what I done, and I realized I hurt the feelings of someone I care about. You still there? Yeah. I'm still here. Good.
Signed a record with the friendly whale Blau, who's just wonderful to work with, and lots of guitars and live keyboards. Blau did all the art by hand, which is wonderful. The YouTube video, you're gonna see a speed painting. That's just, I think, just so amazing. It's just so fun and so cool. And one of our most exciting releases that really hit me in the nostalgia bomb was Chewy's Zelda Midwest Emo mixtape. Did you see this one? This album was so nostalgic for me. Chewy sent me a demo of a Pokemon song in this style, and it melted my heart. So we are now working on a Poke Emo mixtape. Lots of guitars, layered guitars, acoustic, electric. We're not gonna sand the edges off. We're not gonna make this some hyper polished thing. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it hard. We're gonna make it really good. But we're gonna keep that human element. We're not quantizing this stuff. We are keeping it real and live and alive. And I think that that is such a core thing to what I see the future of GameChops being. We don't need more vinyl sound over 2 chords with a boom bap beat. Although that does sound good. I could make one of those right now. We need more life out here. I am not mad at the folks who are making these AI channels. I'm not. This is the sad part, but a real thing, and we need to talk about. Charles Cornell just posted a great video about this. I love him for saying this because it's given me the courage to say it too. Most people don't care. They don't care if a human spent 50 hours working on a song or a website spent 50 credits making the whole thing. They don't care. They just want to listen. And I care. And I can hear it. It drives me crazy. And I don't know how other people don't hear that, but I hear all kinds of stuff that other people don't hear. My wife says I have dog ears. I hear people talking on their phone down the block. Knowing that, if you're a creator, lean into your weirdness. Lean into your background and lean into what makes you uniquely you. Because the thing about the generative tools is they are just doing the average of everything in the universe. And nobody wants average. Sure, you can fart out an anime girl or boof out a lo-fi beat, but oof. But I think it's more important than ever to be honest to your creative self and make something funky and weird and off the wall and have fun. For goodness sakes, ladies and gentlemen, let's have some fun. And I gotta hand it to ChatGPT or whatever for kicking this whole thing off, because I don't know if we hadn't gone through this past year of just getting our lunch eaten and the floor mopped with us from these AI uploads, that I would have made this like decisive step. So that's what's motivating me to keep going. That's my vision for the label. And I just hope you tune in and you listen to this stuff and you enjoy it when it comes out, because I really genuinely think everything we've got in the works for this year is really, truly special. This video comes by way of our sponsor, you, for watching the video. You stuck all the way to the end and I super appreciate that. And we don't have any sponsors here. We are keeping the lights on with your streams, your downloads, and your views. So thanks so much for tuning in. Leave a like and a comment. I've not said that in so long. Do people still comment, I hope? I love hearing from you. I'd love to hear what other kinds of music that you might like to hear if you have ideas for projects. All of our musicians are always thinking about the next thing, which is wonderful. I'm always thinking about the next thing. Just watch at the end. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. You know, I used to do the MagFest DJ battles. Many years I organized this big collection of electronic artists to perform at MagFest. They were always framed up like battles, like, you know, like DJ battles or rap battles, where there'd be a winner based on audience cheering. But at MagFest, everyone is so enthusiastic that we never measured different cheers from act to act. Like everybody went 100% for everybody. So we started this tradition of at the end of every battle, the winners of the battle were the people who stayed to the end. I hope there are some of those winners out there watching this video right now. Thank you so much. And hey, in my eyes, you're a winner now too. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Cutman. I will see you again soon.